Hello, everybody. Today is the Walter Rebranding Day. Hopefully, all of you have had the opportunity to review the video. Those that attended earlier this morning had a bit of a challenge getting the full message, so we sent out a recording. The purpose of this live session is going to be to answer any questions any of you might have on the rebranding process from our current Walter Group and business names to just Walter. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amy to start asking questions that you have sent in, and we will give you our answers, and any other questions that come to mind, please feel free to ask.
All right. Eric asks, you mentioned transitional logos. Can you please explain or elaborate on this?
Sure. So currently we have a lot of different business names, and they're all tied into the Walter Group, but the main names are Illinois Material Handling, AD Lift, Bonnert, that kind of thing. So to introduce a new logo and a new name as Walter, we want to have a transition period which will last for about the next 8 months, where what we'll do is on websites and communications, we'll show not only the Walter, the new brand, but we'll also show the old name. The old name will appear under Walter, and it will allow whoever is viewing it to understand the connection between the old name and the new brand name. So we'll do that. If you see something that says Walter and underneath says Wisconsin Lift Truck, Walter, and underneath it says AD Lift Truck, it helps connect the new and the old.
Okay. Ken asks, new business cards with transitional logo.
Okay, Ken asked if we are going to have business cards and use the transitional logos on the business cards. The answer to that is yes. Sometime in June, we will be issuing business cards to those that have them that will show both the new name and brand as well as the transition of the old name on the card. Amy?
Okay, this is an anonymous question. Are and when will signs and vans be relettered?
Okay, Anonymous wants to know when we're going to have the relettering done. So we are going to rebrand signage and the vans over the coming 5 or 6 months. We're currently working on a detailed schedule for that. We had tried to schedule it, tie it in with our launch parties at each facility. That may or may not be exactly correlated, but we will be sending out announcements on when the signage will happen, probably within the next 30 days or so.
And Mark wants to know, what about our email addresses?
Okay, Mark, you want to know when the email address will change from either the individual business names or Walter Group to Walter. We are going to do that probably when we have the actual legal name change, which is January of 2022. So in the meantime, we'll continue to use our current email addresses, and then once the legal name of the company is changed to Walter Inc., we will at that time change the email address, and it'll be simultaneous with the launch of the new website. Amy?
Jeff wants to know, is there going to be a PDF of this Q&A session and all the information that you've presented?
Jeff wants to know if we're going to have a PDF of this session. That would mean that we'd have to transcribe it. So I don't think we're going to have a PDF, but there is a recording. So the recording has been sent to all employees already of the announcement. There will also be a follow-up video that will have the entire question and answer session for you. We will put some of the questions and answers in type on the website. It may not be verbatim, however.
Okay. Scott asks, will you be posting copies of the communications going out to customers and vendors on the site so we can follow and assist as questions arise?
So the question is, this was from Scott, is will we be posting the communications we send to suppliers and to customers on the website? The answer to that is yes. It will be posted at the We Are Walter website link that you're actually hopefully linked in through right now.
So how should we answer the phone?
Pick it up. No. How should we answer the phone? So we have two questions there. There's the question about once we start using the Walter name with the transition, and then after Walter is the brand name officially in January of 22. So between now and when we transition fully to the Walter, we're going to ask that our people answer the phone with the current business name followed by a Walter company. So, for example, if I'm in Illinois, I would answer the phone saying, "Hello, Illinois Material Handling, a Walter company." If I were in St. Louis, I would answer AD Lift, a Walter company. And as it goes with the various businesses. The purpose of that is to make sure they know that they're talking to the right company to begin with, and they understand the Walter name is part of that. So just to begin the process of confirming the new name with every communication we have with the customers.
How will this process change our culture?
Okay, the question is, how will it change our culture to rebrand? The issue we hope that the rebranding does is change from having individual entities and companies, the we-them type concept, to a unified we are Walter mindset by having only one name to cover all of our operations in every state, every facility. It is our expectation that this will help us to think as one, to act as one, and to have a single message. So we think it's a great improvement to culture. We think it will lead to a much better atmosphere for all communications, not only with customers, but also with each other. Mm-hmm.
So obviously this is bigger than just a name change. What other changes will be coming away?
The rebranding process is one that doesn't really change business operations, although it creates a different focus, a different lens to look at the business operations. So we're not going to be going through and changing other than physical things like signage and logos on vans and the look and feel of our website, but our operations are the same. Our mission is the same, to take care of the customers. The issue, though, is that we will be communicating to those customers as Walter, one company, one message, one high-quality level of service.
Who all knows about this name change?
Okay, the question is, who knows? Well, we started announcing it at 7 a.m. this morning to employees, so the only people that are being informed today are all of our employees. The purpose of that is to make sure, before we start communicating to customers and to suppliers, that everybody in the company knows what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so that when the customers ask, they have a coherent answer and can explain what our vision is for the future. So you are the first to know. We will be communicating to our suppliers next week, and we will be communicating to our customers the week after that. So we hope to, within a 2 or 3 week period, have the message in full force out in the public sphere. And any questions you receive, you should be more than capable of answering. And if you have any questions asked that you'd like us to provide other insight to, please feel free to ask us. But I would expect you to start having questions coming from the outside world sometime in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Is there a quick explanation of the process that we can give the customer?
So the question is there a quick way, a sort of an elevator speech to explain the name change? The name change, very simply, is this. We have grown by acquisitions. We currently have 10 different names by which we do business. In order to enable our customers to understand the full scope of our business, we are creating one name for the entire business for one message. The other way to explain it that's longer is you can list all the prior names and where they're at and what they do, which is what we used to do. So we think this is a much better process.
Not a question, but David says, I'm going to need new decals for my race car.
Okay, we do sponsor race cars. We do understand part of advertising and branding is to have the correct brand wherever it appears. You will get a new decal for your race car.
So how is this name change decided?
Well, the name change was done by very detailed market research that talked to many of our employees in focus groups, also talked to customers and suppliers. The purpose of it was to make sure that it is impactful, focused, and will lead to a very significant improvement to our overall presence in the marketplace. After that research was conducted, we also looked at multiple versions of the brand for the way the W was shaped, the color schemes that were used, how it would be presented on vehicles, how it would be presented on buildings. All of this is intended to send a message that affirms our mission of taking care of our customers at a very, very high level. And everything you'll see from the logo to accelerating your productivity is all intended to communicate the same message. We're the right firm to accelerate the productivity of our customers.
Do you have hard dates on when customers will be notified?
There are, I'm just in from marketing. The announcement will be May 25th. Thank you, Kristen.
What happens when we buy another company?
The question is what happens, and I presume this relates to the logo and the brand name, when we buy another company. In the past, the reason we had the Walter Group name is the way we would assimilate companies. We would bring them under the Walter Group name, but they would continue to be presented to the marketplace under their old name. So that's why we today have all the different business names that we do business under Wisconsin Lift Truck, Illinois Material Handling, Kenzar Equipment, Bonner Equipment, Ruby Lift, Ellis Systems. So in that mode, we would just bring them in and put the Walter Group name above their name and associate it with their name. In the new structure, where we have a single name for the whole company, the approach would be to change the name of the company we are acquiring to Walter. Walter is the bigger of all the entities, and what we are trying to say to the market is that they have become part of the Walter company, the excellent standard that represents.
What will happen to all of our old websites?
What will happen to all of our old websites? Well, they are ultimately going to be replaced by January of 2022. When we replace them, though, the URLs that people log into to find them today will be rerouted so that it will go to the Walter website. So we'll continue, so they won't lose, anybody who knows how to find us will continue to be able to find us the same way. In the next 6 months, when they find us, they'll see information about the transition that's going on in the brand. After it's Walter is the website in January of 2022, they'll be routed to the Walter website and will immediately recognize that they've gotten the business under the new name.
Now, is this connected to the NCFA change?
Question is this connected at all to MCFA? I would say tangential. So about 5 years ago, as we were expanding our business, we looked to our supplier base to see who we would expand our business with. And Doosan and Lindy both came to the table and said they would work with us on our expansion geographically throughout what has now become Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and Missouri. And so the affiliation of the Walter name is going to be used everywhere. The brands we offer and carry in the entire market will be everywhere. So MCFA is limited in scope, but we only have MCFA in the state of Wisconsin. In our marketing efforts for our other brands that cover the entire market, obviously we can focus the Walter name in association with those brands everywhere.
Right. David asks, can or should we start giving customers the new news?
So David asks if we should start giving this information to our customers. The customers are going to be notified starting. Okay, I have more information coming in from the outside. Hold on, stand by. Let's see.
After the 25th.
Okay, so the message is we are formally notifying the customers on May 25th. So we want to have you start communicating with your customers after that date. You will see that information. The message should be consistently shared with the way it's being shared by marketing. Did I get that right, Kristen? She says good. All right.
Can we still wear our old logo items?
Well, so here's the strategy. Okay, so right now the old names are being transitioned. So I would say it is fashionably correct in the Walter world to wear the current logoed items until December 31 of 2021. On January 1 of 2022, all of those names will be out of fashion. And therefore, if I was you, I'd say to be fashionable, you'd only want to be wearing the new logo after January of 2022. And if I can get marketing to approve it, we are going to have a trade-in program to help you get rid of your old logoed shirts and other memorabilia.
All right. So where can I find more information about this process and timelines and all that stuff?
So we created the We Are Walter website to be the focal point of the communication. So we're going to continuously post updates to that website so that everybody will be aware. I would say this though, if you have questions, because assume if you have a question, there's probably another 50 people in the company that also have the same question. So please submit your questions either through the website or to me directly or to marketing, whatever. We will post the questions and the answers so that everybody understands the issues that people are concerned about.
I think that's all the questions we have.
Okay. Assuming that is all the questions for now, I want to thank all of you for taking your time to participate in this question and answer series. I can't tell you how excited we are about launching the new Walter name and building upon everything that has come before, and you're a major part of it. So I hope you're as excited as we are. So other than that, have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and a wonderful rest of your year.